Welcome to Behind the Curtain IMO. I'm Betsy Jordan. 11,200 seconds, 187 minutes. That's 3 hours and 7 minutes while President Trump did not call off the dogs. And when I say the dogs, I don't mean pets. He did not call off. That's 3 hours and 7 minutes while the gallows were being pitched, while there were cries to kill Mike Pence, while 2,000 people stormed the Capitol. Congress was in chambers. The Speaker of the House pleaded with Trump to call them down, to stop the nonsense. He watched TV. I want you to think about it. That was 5 seconds. Now, some of you want to think that it really never happened. There was someone who took a gun in. There was someone who beat someone near to death with a flagpole. There were people carrying my state's flag. I saw it. And they were led by who they thought was their leader. But this guy wasn't storming the Capitol. This guy wasn't claiming any culpability for stirring you up. This guy's always a victim of circumstances. I think you should understand that. There's always someone else to blame. Always somebody else to blame, even if it's you. So yes, the Capitol was overrun by people who thought their country was being taken away from them because their leader was telling them it was so. And it was disproved over 60 times, 60 separate cases. It was proved that he was telling the big lie. But you see, he had been schooled by people, mentors, to attack, defend, and never, ever admit defeat. Well, where I come from, that's not even good team sports. That's when you want to kill somebody. That's mob thinking, mafioso. Some of you liked The Sopranos. Some of you think that that is sort of a romantic way to live, but it is not a romantic way to lead a country. And it does not portend well for this country. So now you have someone who encouraged an insurgency. Now in 2016 when he was elected, some of the first words out of my mouth about this guy was that he was a traitor. And that's how I see him. Now, I know many of you don't see him that way, but I saw him as anti-constitutional, as anti-democracy, as all about Trump, as having thin skin and being a coward, a wounded, toxic, masculine, which is not a good example for the rest of the country, certainly not for our young men, and definitely not for our young women. Why would we put up with locker room talk? And most of our athletes are offended by that, truly are offended by that talk, particularly about their girlfriends or their wives or their sisters. And we let him get away with that because he has money, because he has a perceived power. You've given him that power. We have given him that power if we haven't done everything we can to keep him out of that office, because he would do that again. And that's what he's trying to do. And I'm going to illustrate this in the next videos, how he is trying to stir it up so that it looks like this election is closer than it is, so that he can say that the election was stolen from him again, and this time they plan to succeed at taking over our government. And if you don't want someone who has only people who are thinking, it is my country and I'm going to defend it with my guns, and I do not want my guns taken away from me, and you have this kind of attitude, which is, we will take it by force. We're going to consider this a hostile act because we believe that y'all are taking the election away from us, when that is not the truth. One of the beauties of this country is that we have fair and free elections, but we now have to have a team of attorneys to defend what is fair and free. And what has happened is there's been a systematic disgracing, I'm not pulling up the right word, but discrediting, that's the word, discrediting of people who are doing the right thing. So it's no longer cool to do the right thing, right? So what you're doing is you're defending a guy who is always the victim, always has somebody else to blame, is not accountable for his behavior. And you're putting him in the most powerful position in the world. He's easily manipulated because of his ego, and he's in Putin's pocket. I'll tell you more about that again, and I have alluded to this in other videos. So please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and you know, I am seriously trying to understand and also share with you a perspective from a place of being calm and trying to relate and being a team player for the United States of America. This is Behind the Curtain. Thank you for being here.